Hello everyone, this video is to teach you how to make a survey with Google Forms. So the first thing that we need to do is we need to log into Google Forms. There are different ways. I usually go through my email, but right here what I have is just a browser in Google Chrome. I am already logged into my email, as you can see. Right next to my avatar, there is this icon that looks like a waffle cake. If you click on that, you should have access to all the Google applications that you have on your account. So the one that you need looks like this. It's purple and it says Forms. So let's click on that. This will log you into all the forms that you've ever made, or if you don't have any forms, it might be blank, but you will definitely have this plus button that says blank, and that's the one that we need. So we're going to click on that. And the first thing that we want to do is we want to give this form a name, okay? Because we're working on interest inventories, we're going to call it interest inventory and give it a last name. Maybe Ms. Pantic or Dr. Pantic. But you know, in schools, kids usually call you Mr. or Ms. So let's do that. And then we have to click out of that. And then we want to click on this folder and find a folder where we want to save it. I have a folder called classes, so I will save it there. But you can also create a new folder, and maybe we can call that folder Education 3315 Media Class, and save it. Save the name and then click Move here. So now I know that I have a folder on my Google Drive that is named as this class, and I can save all the things there. All right, so let's take a look at some of the settings. The first setting looks like a palette of colors. If you click on that, you can change you know, the font, the text style. You can choose an image for the header. Right now, this looks like generic purple because purple is a Weber State color. We want it to look a little bit more inviting, so I'm going to click on Choose Image here. And I'm going to see whether any of these images applies to the course that I teach. So if I was a music teacher, this piano might be a good option. If I was an art teacher, maybe these brushes, or chemistry or English. So whichever you choose, you need to click on it and then do insert. It's going to take a second. But as you can see, based on the picture, Google adjusted the colors so they match the picture. Okay. So there's that. We did that. We have several buttons here that allow us to preview or undo or redo something. I'm going to click on settings instead. Right here, there's a button called settings. And you want to read these questions really carefully. So the first one is asking you, do you want to make this a quiz? We're making an interest inventory, which is basically a survey. So no, I don't want this to be a quiz because then I would have to also specify the correct answers. Let's click on the responses instead. So here, do I want the email to be verified? Or I don't want to collect. If you want the submissions to be anonymous, then you don't want to collect emails. But considering that you're making this for students and you want to know who submitted which answer, So you have data on your students. We're going to click on verified. You can decide whether you want them to receive their responses. You can decide whether you want them to submit one answer or allow them to edit their answers. This button, however, should be turned off, because if you read this, it says restrict to users in Weber. Okay, that needs to be turned off because your students will not be able to submit. And what is more, I will not be able to see your quiz. So you need to make sure that you uncheck that. And then just read carefully through other options. And then finally, we have default. Do you want to collect the email addresses? Yes, we want that. We already talked about that. And then read all the other options just carefully. But the one that is really important is this weber.edu needs to be turned off. So both your students at the school can see your survey and I can see your survey. Over here, when you click in the future, you will be able to see all your answers and even export it to a Google Sheet, so it's easier to see. But now we're going to move on to building questions. So the first thing that I want to do is I want to add a little description here. This survey is meant to help me get to know you and your learning preferences. Thank you for completing it. You know, you will be working with middle schoolers or high schoolers and you don't want to overcomplicate anything. The less they need to read, the better. Okay, so Google Forms give you a question, like a default question. If you click on it, you'll be able to edit it. The assignment wants you to have different types of questions to get full credit for this assignment. You choose the type of the question right here on the right. If you click on that, you can see that you can have a question that provides a short answer, a paragraph, multiple choice, check boxes. You can even have students upload a file, have submit a date or time, or have some sort of a drop-down menu. Explore these, play with them, just so you know how this goes. And then here you will type the question. So let's say that I am an English teacher and I want to ask them, what genre of books do you like to read? Since it's multiple choice, I want to give them some options here. Science fiction. I want to say, I don't know, fantasy. I want to say historical novels. Etc. Right? You can go as far as you want. You want to decide which questions are really important to you and make those required, because otherwise kids will skip questions and you will not get enough data. To add a new question, you will click on the plus sign. And the good thing about Google is when you hover over an option, see, it tells you what each button does. Okay, so my recommendation to you is play, explore, and make an interest inventory that really targets specificities about the subject matter that you teach. So as an English teacher, you want to ask about their reading habits, you want to ask about their writing habits, you want to ask about like what kind of learning preferences they have. Do they like group work? Do they like individual work? you want to ask them some open-ended questions to see like what if there's anything that they want to tell you in private, something that they think you should know just to help them learn better. If you were a physical education teacher, you might want to ask them more about their exercising habits, maybe even eating habits, maybe some sort of health goals that they have, anything that would help you design your courses, and so on and so forth, right? So think about what kind of questions, look at the rubric, and make sure you have everything from the rubric. Okay, and then finally, you will want to share the survey with your students. To do that, you need to click on the send button here in the top right corner. There are multiple ways how you can share. The one that you will need to submit the assignment to me, and it's the safest way to share with your mentor teacher to send to the students, is this one, the middle one. So not the envelope, but the little link. Click on that, copy the whole link, and submit it in your assignment. Do not shorten it. For some reason they have a bug there and it doesn't work. So just do this one, the whole link, copy it and submit it. Thank you for watching.